Over the years, we've seen Annabeth grow from an eager Athena kid to one of the most brilliant tacticians Camp Half-Blood has to offer. She's grown into an incredibly revered demigod, but there's one key piece of her character that's been playing in the background of the original series that drastically recontextualizes her arc through the main series. For 5 books, she's been wrestling with a dark secret that she couldn't confide in anyone, especially Percy. Annabeth knew the Great Prophecy from the time she met Percy, and I don't think that's talked about enough. So let's talk about Annabeth's point of view throughout the entire first series, because the entire time, she thought Percy was destined to die, and it's been tearing her apart inside for years. We know that Annabeth first read the prophecy when she was 10, and memorized it immediately. And in The Last Olympian, she says that she couldn't tell Percy because it wasn't the right time, outright admitting to him that she lied. But think on this for a deeper level for just a moment. The line that reads, "A hero's soul the cursed blade shall reap," was initially read by many as the hero who would save or destroy Olympus, which is a reasonable conclusion to draw. The entire prophecy is how a demigod child of the Big Three was destined to save or destroy Olympus, so it makes sense that this would be the hero in question, and as soon as Annabeth met Percy, she believed that he was the one. She spent the next 4 years getting closer to him, not just as a very close personal friend, but eventually, she developed a crush on him, while knowing that he was seemingly fated to die. We've talked before about how Annabeth has serious trust issues, and we'll get more into that in just a minute, but this reframes why she was so isolated near the beginning of their friendship, and why she kept him at a distance. In the Mark of Athena, she outright confirms that she had a crush on him since they were 12, as soon as they met, so she went on almost half a decade preparing herself for the day when he would turn 16 and die. Remember, she had been homeless since she was 7, since her father prioritized her stepmother and step-siblings over her, and Annabeth has spent her entire life being betrayed and abandoned. Her first true demigod friends were Luke and Talia, and we all know how that turned out. She already had to watch Talia die in front of her, and just a few short years later, Luke allied himself with Kronos and betrayed Camp Half-Blood. Not only did Luke abandon her and the gods, but he also poisoned Talia's tree and still had the gall to approach her under the flag of truce and ask her to run away with him. He wanted her to abandon Camp Half-Blood in the war altogether so the two of them could run off and take care of one another yet again, and the fact that she was conflicted shows just how alluring Luke is to her. Even if he doesn't mean to be, he is incredibly emotionally manipulative, and has Annabeth wrapped around his finger, dividing her loyalty and only causing more stress. She has learned the hard way that time and time again, anyone she trusts or loves will inevitably either die or betray her, even as her own father did. So now she has a new friend, who she finds annoyingly endearing, and breaking down her emotional barriers is already hard enough, but letting herself be vulnerable when she knows that he is fated to die is another beast entirely. Yet Percy keeps enduring. The two traverse the Sea of Monsters together, and when Annabeth is abducted by Atlas and forced to hold up the sky, Percy once again travels across the country to find her. He stalks the quest party, defies direct orders from camp, and is wholeheartedly prepared to ride Blackjack all the way to California if it means finding her. When he does get there, he finds that Atlas has now burned Artemis with the way to the sky. He takes it from her, and no matter what, he keeps fighting for her, and we can see this all the way into the Battle of the Labyrinth. The Battle of the Labyrinth is where Annabeth's feelings come to a head, and when we take into account the fact that she thinks Percy is a year away from dying horribly, and potentially ending the world as we know it, in the process, then her reactions take on a much different light. Without this context, it looks like she is venting because Percy is oblivious and she's stuck under the weight of needing to traverse the labyrinth. But with this thought in mind, we can see just how much she is struggling and how she doesn't have a good support system. She can't go to Percy because that would mean she has to get closer to him and open up to him, which she obviously can't do since he's the one who's supposed to be next on the chopping block. She spent all of these years silently struggling as she starts to love the idiot boy who, by all metrics, shouldn't survive. So she tries to distance herself. She tries to get over her crush on him, tries to keep him back, but he just keeps chipping away at her. The reason why Annabeth lashes out at Rachel is because Percy's attention is divided, which is only ripping her apart because she's sworn off on him until Mount St. Helens. When Annabeth receives her prophecy at the beginning of Battle of the Labyrinth, she withholds a line at the very end, and Percy, knowing her as well as he does, immediately picks up on it. He can't pick up on the fact that she likes him, but he can pick up that she's at least hiding something. Eventually, he figured out that the line ends in death, which only compounds her previous fears until he promises to cover her escape from the Telekines. This is when she gives in, when she finally accepts that no matter how hard she tries, she likes him. And we've talked about before that Annabeth's major fatal flaw is her inability to balance her emotional problem solving and her analytical problem solving. And her affinity for only logic-based problem solving flies directly in the face of Percy's logicless loyalty. For that full breakdown though, be sure to go check out that video. Why this is relevant though is because Annabeth can't solve emotional problems. She needs a tactical or logical solution, but her emotional problems don't have any easy logic-based fixes, so she's been struggling under this weight for years. When she finally kisses Percy in the Forge of Hephaestus, it's because she's not only finally admitting her feelings for him, but she's also facing the idea that she might never see him again, whether it's here or as a result of the Great Prophecy, reaping his soul with the Cursed Blade. Remember, after this, she does think that he died. He was missing and presumed dead for 2 weeks until the ceremony was arranged to burn his shroud. So Annabeth mourned Percy after finally admitting that she liked him, which would have been bad enough. If she had done what she did and he died, she would have been a wreck, and this would have absolutely destroyed her, but that's not what happened. He showed back up and made her wait for him to die again the next year when he turned 16. She still thinks he's fated to die, except now her feelings are out in the open and she's in damage control mode. All this time she's been waiting for him to die in one way or another, and our personal theory is that this is why she took the knife for him in The Last Olympian. On the bridge, Percy's about to be stabbed in the back, right in his Achilles' weak point that would have killed him. Annabeth, however, who knows that he bathes in the river Styx and bears the curse of Achilles, takes the knife for him anyway. When Percy asks her why she did that, she says she just had a feeling, a gut instinct that told her to intervene, and we believe that she saw the prophecy coming true in this one crucial moment. She's very analytically minded. She doesn't act based on feelings or instinct. She only acts based on data, and the data that she had was that Percy had been at death's door since they met. We believe that the future flashed before her eyes, even if it was too fast for her to consciously register. But she's been waiting for Percy to die for years, and she saw it was about to happen. If she's been carrying the weight of watching out for every possible instance where Percy could have died over the years, then she'd be hypersensitive to any attack that could have been his endgame. While that's an interesting theory, we personally believe that the point of this video is to paint her character in a new light for the early series. She knows the prophecy, and she believes she knows Percy's fate well before he does. Even though she knows the prophecies can be deceiving, and trying to understand them usually doesn't go well, she still can't shake the feeling that she's falling for someone who is living on borrowed time. First her father, then Talia, then Luke, and now Percy. So she fights tooth and nail to not fall for him, only for her to develop feelings anyways. But what do you guys think? Are we on the right track or did we miss something? We love this series, we love talking about this series, so be sure to join in the conversation below and let us know what you think. As always, friends, stay safe, don't text and fly, and we'll see you around.